Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Hui Ood, an unofficial Doctor Who watch along podcast. Today, we are talking about the fourth, fifth Doctor serial, The Visitation. My name is Ben, and I am joined by my co-host Cam. How you doing today, Cam?
I am doing good. We're recording this on the day that it was announced that the 2026 Doctor Who special is going to be happening. So that made me excited. Yesterday, I got my ticket to go see Rush in 2026, Ben.
Ooh.
I don't know how much you're aware, but that's one of the big bands for me.
Up there with Muse.
Well, like Muse was my high school band, Like not as much anymore. Like I would say like my top six at the moment would be Radiohead, Pink Floyd, White Stripes, Rush, King Crimson, and then there's another one I'm forgetting.
Wow.
But that's my top five.
I'm curious.
Hmm.
Pink Floyd is my favorite band. I listen to
Hmm.
Pink Floyd all the time, basically every day. How often do you listen to Pink Floyd? If you rate it as like one of your top five.
I listen to it not as much anymore. I go through phases, but like I go through phases for every musician. I have that problem of I am autistic with music. I will like listen to an album and I will listen to it over and over and over and over and over again till it kind of is sickening to hear that record.
Yeah,
And this is after like listening to it for a full year straight. And then I move on to my new band that I'm going to be obsessed with.
yeah,
So I had my year where I only listened to Pink Floyd, and they were my number one musician that year. And I was like the top like on Spotify, like the top like 0.05% or whatever the hell it was. Like it was
wow.
like very much like I am sad. And then I moved on to King Crimson. And I've kind of just now being like, okay, I'm kind of listening to too much King Crimson. I need to listen to other bands.
Fair enough. I've been listening to a lot of Pink Floyd the last few months, and that's only because I've been listening to their early and their late stuff instead of just that their golden years.
The best for you album run ever, basically.
Oh, absolutely. And that is their best stuff, unquestionably.
Yeah.
But I'm also finding a lot of stuff I really like early and late, and I'll jump around. Oh, what do I feel like today? Maybe the Division Bell. Division Bell. First couple times I listened to it, hated it.
Mm,
Now I really love it. Like it's
mm.
up there. Like top five, maybe.
You gotta explore more prog, Ben. You dip the toe with Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
There's so many other prog bands out there, Ben. That's just waiting for you.
Who are they though? I'm
Well,
bad with music discovery.
so Rush and King Crimson are prog bands. Yes is the other big prog band, and then I know you're a fan of Genesis, and Genesis is another big prog band.
I need to listen to more. Like what I have listened to Genesis I really like, but I haven't done a deep dive.
Like you haven't listened to like the Peter Gabriel early stuff.
No. Like I really like Invisible Touch, and that's basically all I listen to. That's one of those bands that like they got at least one album that I really really love,
Mm,
enough to say I really like Genesis,
mm,
even though I haven't listened to hardly anything else.
yeah,
Like Daft Punk, as a completely other example, Discovery is so fucking good.
yeah,
I don't even need to listen to their other albums to know that Daft Punk is great.
yeah.
Like, I've listened to Random Access Memories maybe 2 times and thought it was
Really?
fine. Yeah,
Wow.
but Discovery is so good.
Yeah, I was shocked. I know you're a Daft Punk fan, so I sent you that video of like the one of the Daft Punk guys playing a Random Access Memory song live. You didn't even respond to it. I was like, wow, I was shocked.
Yeah. I mean, I probably haven't listened to anything other than Discovery
Mm,
and the Tron Legacy soundtrack, of
yeah,
course, in many years. I'm sure Alive too I've listened to.
yeah,
Alive 2007 is really good, but I should listen to Random Access Memories again
and homework.
and Homework.
But he also just before that he played Rolling and Scratching, and I fucking love Rolling and Scratching.
What is
My God,
this?
Rolling and Scratching, the Daft Punk song off of Homework.
Gotcha. Oh, Around the World is Homework. Of course I've listened to that. I think I've listened to it more in Alive than just Homework.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is not a music podcast. This is a Doctor Who podcast. Again, today we are talking about The Visitation.
Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Pause, pause, pause. We didn't do anything. We didn't do anything like we have been doing. Because whenever we're doing like, hey, this is the name of the podcast, and then here's the co-host,
Yeah, I
and
did
then
that.
like here's the little tagline.
What's the little tagline?
Well, this is Doctor Who watch along podcast.
Yeah, I said all that.
You haven't watched it
Well, I mean, I didn't say
before.
the, who we are, so to speak.
Yeah. Before we get into it, Ben, introduce us to the folks. If you're joining us for the first time, if you're a big Visitation fan,
If you, as the diehard The Visitation fan, are joining us now for the very first time, my name is Ben. I am someone who is pretty new to Doctor Who. I grew up as in a Star Trek household. Cam tried to get me into it in college and failed. And randomly, probably like 2 years ago now, I said, you know what? Screw it. I'll give Doctor Who a shot. And because of the way my brain works, I started with season 1, episode 1, Unearthly Child.
The spiritual just been. I just started watching Doctor Who. I've only seen Doctor Who up until this point. Because
Oh, okay. But yes, I've seen everything from Unearthly Child to The Visitation, and Cam has seen a bunch of stuff all over the place.
yeah, I've been well. I've seen all of New Who, and then my classic Doctor Who knowledge is all over the place. But this is my first time watching the Visitation for this episode.
Yes. Which was broadcast February 15th to February 23rd, 1982 on BBC One. This was written by Eric Sayward, who,
This is his first Doctor Who story that he wrote. And this
yes,
is also what gets him to be. This gets him the script editing job for the future of Peter Davison's era.
yeah. Although season 19, the projection order and the release orders all
Yeah, this was the second episode
jumbled up.
produced.
Yeah, right after Four to Doomsday, which we had someone, I think, what was it, Anthony Root, who is script editor for this and Four to Doomsday, and then Eric Sayrud, will be script editor from Kinda for a while, I think.
Except for Earthshock, which Anthony Root gets the credit for, but he didn't do anything on. It was just Eric Saber,
Yeah, they can't double credit him.
yeah,
That's the BBC.
the BBC way.
This was directed by Peter Moffat, who previously directed State of Decay, and will do a couple more 5 and 6.
Mainly Five Doctors is a big one.
Yeah. Any special behind the scenes stuff that is not directly related to something we will be talking about?
Let me read it real quick. I think the main thing is just that this is the first time for Eric Saber, which is a pretty big deal. Just because he stays along for pretty much shaping the rest of 80s Doctor Who, except for the Seventh Doctor.
Gotcha.
Of course, we'll get into it when we get to it. But this is the farewell of the Sonic Screwdriver, Ben.
Yes. We'll talk about that later.
Interestingly, this is the only story that Eric Serra wrote that did not feature a recurring villain.
Hmm. To give a quick synopsis of the episode,
Where are we pulling it from this time, Ben?
I'm pulling it from the inside cover of the Region 2 DVD because that's all I could find. It's not on Amazon. I found a random eBay listing. So here it is. Death is stalking the countryside of 17th century England. Literally, a terrifying skull faced specter in a hood has been spotted by villagers near London, but this isn't the Grim Reaper. It's an android created by a gang of reptilian aliens called Terileptils. The creatures have crashed to Earth and are hatching plans to hijack the Black Death for their own nefarious ends. Can the Fifth Doctor and his friends prevent them from wiping out humanity with the biggest plague of all time? Which that kind of spoils the whole conceit of the episode. Like this plague thing isn't. That's the part 3 cliffhanger that they have to deal with the ramifications of in part 4.
Yeah, but you kind of have to set it up as well that it is the plague. But like,
They can't just say, "Ooh, what are those aliens up
but I should
to?"
have just said set during the plague.
Cam, what did you think of the Visitation?
I actually really enjoyed the story. It very much reminded me of Time Warrior in Horror of Fang Rock.
I see the comparison.
It fits very well in that pseudo historical, where it does a pretty good job of being historical as well as incorporating that science fiction element to it. I thought the side characters were very good, in particular of the Highwayman character, Richard Mace. I
Oh
really
yes.
enjoyed him in this story. is one of my favorite aspects of the story. I watched it on the Blu-ray, and a lot of people have been talking about the Blu-rays, the collection sets, because of the season 13 set just recently released, and it's very much AI upscaled.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a shame because did you watch the Blu-ray version of this?
Yeah.
It looks beautiful.
Oh, yeah, all the outside stuff we have film for, and
Yeah, it's film.
it looks gorgeous.
And, like, we must have the 16 millimeter film for it, so it's like it looks pretty much like a movie, and it looks fantastic. It's one of those deep jarring things where, like, oh, this is does not match the studio stuff at all because it's
No.
such higher resolution. Looks beautiful. I liked the story of the Terileptis, even though I think the special effects are really bad and doesn't age well at all, and
Really?
it kinda takes me out. Yeah. But anyways, Ben, before we get too much into detail, what did you think of it?
It was pretty good. I didn't really draw the comparisons to the ones that you said, but I'm seeing it now. It's a pretty interesting pseudo historical that, like a lot of them, I would get more out of if I knew British history,
Yeah.
like Pudding Lane. What? That doesn't mean anything to me.
Yeah. Which was, of course, the Great Fire of London,
Yes,
which is a
after
pretty
going on
major
the
event. Yep.
TARDIS wiki, after the fact, I'm like, "Oh, okay." I'm assuming Richard Mace is based maybe on a real person? I don't know, or maybe he's just a guy they made up,
I think he's just a guy.
but pretty good. I think the Terileptils and the Android are interesting, very interesting, particularly in the design aspect, which maybe I guess you disagree on.
I agree with the android. I like the design of the android.
Richard Mace is a really great, strong side character. When he was introduced, I wasn't sure if I was gonna like him or not, but he really grows on you. But maybe this can be a general kind of starting point we can talk about. I think the companion dynamic. Everybody, all four core TARDIS crew members have stuff to do. No one is just hanging out, and they're all pretty good, I would say.
But like I would agree, but this one definitely because Nissa and Adric kind of at one point just go off to the TARDIS. It definitely becomes much more, and then because of the beginning is so much more Tegan centric, this is definitely much more like Tegan is the main companion in this episode, I would say.
Agreed.
And also kind of showing that this TARDIS crew is way too big.
Yeah,
Especially for like these four potters are like they do not have enough room to fit all these characters into these stories.
yeah. I think this does a decent job though.
Yeah. Are you saying it's better than the last episode when Nissa just falls asleep? Or no, she can't go out because she's fainting too much.
Oh, she's too sleepy. There are other reasons outside there are production reasons for that, not
Yeah.
necessarily script
Yeah.
reasons. But I feel like even though Adric is still very annoying, everyone had some time to shine here.
Yeah. But I would say Tegan in particular, I like the beginning of the episode when he's taking her to Heathrow.
Oh,
But he takes
yeah.
her to Heathrow, but it's not the correct time. And she has a pretty great quote of being like, at least a broken clock is right twice a day. While she storms off, angry at the doctor.
And the stuff in the TARDIS, I think, is pretty good, where she's doing some self reflection about the really traumatic event that just happened to her the day before,
Yeah.
bonding with Nissa.
Which is so weird. We don't get that a lot in classic Doctor Who, where it's like, oh, we have to talk about it.
Yeah. I have my body taken over. And am I truly free? Am I okay? I don't know. But yeah, Tegan, I think, is really good. And when she gets like kidnapped later on, her and Adric, she displays a lot of admirable qualities, showing a lot of courage. Like Adric, you go, save yourself when they're being like tortured and she's not letting anything slip. Very, very likable. More than just a girl who likes airplanes, I would say.
Yes.
Still a little bit of Stockholm syndrome to kick in, but very good.
Yeah. She didn't go too much about like, this flying, it's the greatest form of transportation. Like, why do you have this boner for flying so much? But anyways, Ben, I want to talk about Richard Mace.
Okay.
We both liked him this episode.
Yes.
He is a highwayman. Do you know what a highwayman is, Ben?
So of course. A bandit, a robber, an evil I guess not necessarily an evildoer, but
Yeah. Someone's making they're making a
a
living, man.
common crook.
But he has, like, this, like, actor side of him.
But he's also a thespian, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, yeah, mhm." He's got the deep voice.
Which allows the actor to have a lot of fun with the role, and you can tell that he is enjoying playing this.
Yes. One This is kinda spoilery, I already watched Black Orchid,
Mm.
and I wanna comment, this doctor is really he's letting people into the TARDIS a lot. He's like, "Yeah, come on in. Let me show you around." That happens in Black Orchid, it happens here. Does it happen in the last couple?
Didn't happen, no,
No, we didn't see the TARDIS at all in Kinda.
no. But no, he's Richard Mace is a very fun character.
Yes.
And, like, so much of classic Doctor Who is just very just stock, generic characters that don't really have too many descriptives to them. They're just kind of there to fill their purposes in the plot.
Yes.
And I feel like this character in particular stood out from that. Just giving it that like thespian side to him allowed it just to be fun just to hang around with them.
Yeah, there's so many characters that come and go. When there's one that kinda stands out, they really stand out.
Like remember that woman that was with the doctor for all of Kinda basically that was kind of like this the companion episode.
Not really.
But you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah,
But like
Dr. Todd.
you know what I mean, Ben. That we just watched that story and it's just like she was a character that's there that served her purpose in the plot.
Yes, but when I tell you about, the old woman in Seeds of Doom, that's a whole other story. I don't remember her name, but she left an impact.
She left a gigantic impact.
Or, again, the old woman from Stones of Blood.
You're gonna love, I'm forgetting her name at the second.
You've mentioned her many times.
Even Smythe, I mean, you're gonna love her, Ben, I'm telling you.
I don't know what it is about the old woman.
But especially Colin Baker's doctor is such, like, a grumpy puss. So, like, him with an older woman is just chef's kiss. Big Finish knew what they were doing.
Mhm. Let's talk about the Terileptils.
So I don't like this design at all. The design I shouldn't say the design, like, I think it's not a bad looking mask, and I like the animatronics in it. Like, it's kinda cool that they did have that much detail that his mouth moves, and he has,
Yeah,
like, these gills that kinda move, but it's still a mask, and masks are very bad looking. Like, I can't buy it.
for a mask, though? I mean, this is leagues better than,
The crawl,
Silurians or sea devil like, having mouth and gill and I don't know, I buy it as a living creature.
you have this actor that's inside of the suit that's doing this performance, so you always have him talk like this, and he's like, "Doctor." He's always muffled that the whole episode because, like, he's just talking while inside the suit. And it just takes me out of it the whole entire time.
I mean, I guess. I mean, the only one that talks, the leader,
Yeah.
is
Who's the only one we really see for majority of the story.
yeah, but he's severely deformed. If he had some vocal cord damage, that would not surprise me,
For vocal cord
lore-wise.
damage that makes you only talk like you're inside of a mask.
Hey, I'm not a doctor.
But I do like that idea though that this alien is damaged and like you could imagine like the new series that like they would have done really cool special effects of like maybe some CGI in there, of, like having it really be deformed. But here kind of just like I don't know, I'm not the biggest fan of this. Even though I do respect that they went a little bit harder this time than the others.
Yeah.
But it's still just like this is not the way. The way should have just been they should have just added prosthetics to a human face. But they haven't learned that yet in classic Doctor Who.
The android you said you do like, though?
Yes, I do like the android. I do like the eloquent design of it, and then also the design of it when there are more of like the
Like the Grim Reaper mask?
death, yeah, like the Grim Reaper stuff. Like that looks, I think, really cool, as well as when it is like bejeweled out.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
I kind of wish that we got a little bit more of that, like the robot. He's not really in the story that much.
Not too much. Seems like it's mostly just to give Nissa something to do.
Yeah,
Because, like, otherwise, the Pteroleptil could just kidnap people. They don't necessarily need the android.
no.
but Nyssa gets to go mess around in the TARDIS.
I don't know if you know this, Ben, but she's smart,
That is kinda her one character trait.
which is also Adric's one character trait.
Yeah. Who is smarter?
I don't know. That's a question I leave to the scholars.
I suppose Adric is specifically math and Nyssa is
Yeah,
more science,
yeah.
which are related but separate. Adric's got some more street smarts while Nyssa is royalty.
Whenever he stole the fruit.
Oh, not well, though. He got caught. I guess he doesn't have that much street smart.
Adric, he's just a street kid.
Street urchin or swamp urchin, I guess. But he was pretty annoying this episode.
He fell on when he tripped on that like fucking root.
Yeah, and now he can't walk. Fucking Adric.
Were you cheering when he fell? Were you like, yeah, you get what you deserve?
No, just I don't know. He's very indignant this episode. Like, I'm not waiting for the doctor. I'm gonna go find him and get immediately captured.
You only have a short more time, Ben.
I know. I feel like I almost liked Adric more when he was with Tom. Like, he had some good moments with Tom, but this has just been all downhill.
Peter's doctor being a little bit more of a friend doesn't help Adric's annoyingness. When it's just Tom being like, "Shut the fuck up, Patrick," you're like, "I can put up with him." Tom's gonna put him in his place.
Yeah. I mean, he gets told off quite a bit, but like we open this story with Adric getting told off by the doctor.
But in a different way, in a much more friendlier way.
Yes. Tom would have put him in his place for sure. But he'll be gone soon. I have no idea when Nissa goes away, come to think of it.
I think it's the king's demons. Demon. Whatever demons, whatever it is.
Is she on that long?
I think so.
Because I know we get Turlo next season
Yeah.
semi early. I don't know. I guess the only elephant left in the room is the doctor.
It's the fifth doctor. He's just kind of like a very generic version of the doctor. Like he's not bad this episode, but like there's nothing about him where I'm like, oh yeah, this is very like different take.
Yeah. I mean, I think slowly, I mean, basically every episode, I keep saying what my current thought process is for the doctor. And right now, I'm feeling like he's good. He plays the doctor well, but there's nothing that's really making him unique.
Yeah.
Like, one moment I thought was really good is when he meets the Terileptil for the first time. And
Yeah.
he starts with, like, oh, we're going to help you. We're going to bring you home. I'm going to do everything I can, and then as the conversation turns to "You're my prisoner," he gets, like, quiet and serious and is like, "I can't let you do that." And I thought that was really good.
No, he's very good that scene.
But that's also I could see Tom doing the exact same performance. I could see John doing the exact same performance.
Yeah.
I don't think the performance there isn't any qualities that only Davison could pull off.
Yeah. But also like he has a very famous quote of like I don't want to say this every episode, but he has a very famous quote. He's like, I only learned how to play the doctor in my last episode.
Yeah, you've said that a few times.
So like wait for caves, dude. Just wait for caves.
Does he finally become unique in caves?
Well, like he gives one of the most memorable performances from a doctor.
From a doctor
Yeah,
period?
yeah. No, it's the complete opposite of like a Legopolis where you're like Tom is kind of clocked out. With Caves and Design, you're like, oh, this is it for him. Like if we like Caves and Design is one of those things. It's like if we got that every week, that would have been awesome. But we didn't get that every week. But Doctor Who is just not a show that's like that. You don't get really good stuff every week. You get the duds here and there.
Yeah.
This story in particular was a very good story.
Yeah. I think I you know, when it comes time to the ranking, I think I like Kinda more,
Yeah.
but I think this is very solid.
Yeah. No, you understand why they would choose Eric Sayward to do more of Doctor Who because he clearly from this first scripts understands what Doctor Who is.
Oh, yeah.
Where Kinda is kind of a little bit different for Doctor Who. This is very much like I mentioned before, feels like it was written by a Robert Holmes or a Terrence Sticks.
Oh, yeah. I'm watching this with my family, and my mother, recently expressed she really liked the android this episode, and she expressed to me like, "Oh, yeah, things are going up. It's finally now it's good." And she was disappointed when I explained to her like, "Well, Unfortunately, it's not really how Doctor Who operates. It isn't like, all right, from this point forward, now they have more money, now they have good writers. It's always ups and downs and all around.
Yeah. But it's like you can go do like it's that thing of like the one episode can be the greatest episode ever, and the next episode you're like, this is like one of the worst episodes I've ever seen.
Yep, we're gonna get that pretty soon.
Yes, we are. But that's what's kind of the fun about the show is that like you really don't know every week that you don't know if like this could be the one or this could be the one.
Yeah.
There's not really like another show like it that's like yes some anthology shows, but like it's why it's like Doctor Who's in that weird camp of like it's an anthology show, but also it is a serialized drama. It's very unique in that way. I don't know if there's any other show quite like it.
I would say at least what I've seen in the classic is leaning more towards anthology than serialized. Is New Who more serialized than anthology?
The serialized and the character arcs are much more like there's a continuation of the character arcs in the episodes when it's really good. When and then or like sometimes there's a storyline throughout that's like, oh, we're setting up the finale.
Yeah. That's something that's missing from a lot of classic Who is character arcs.
Yeah.
Like, especially for the Doctor.
Yeah.
Like, William Hartnell, the first Doctor, completely different in Unearthly Child and 10th Planet, and even in the middle. Like, he goes through an arc of softening up.
Yeah. He's no longer that guy that's gonna bash that caveman with that skull.
No. And becoming more of a paragon of justice and goodness and kindness and all that jazz. Well, I feel like Tom doesn't like.
Tom has an arc. It's just the arc is is Tom Baker how he feels about playing the role.
Yeah. Tom Baker has an arc. The fourth Doctor does not. He has his own personal uh, arc that he goes through as
You
an
can see it on
actor.
screen.
John, third Doctor, I don't know.
He has a little bit of an arc when it comes. Joe Grant is a kind of an arc of how much he like ends up with Joe Grant. Like the third Doctor that in Terror of the Autons is a different character than in Green Death, I would say, with how he is with just the unit family. You know?
I suppose that is true. Yeah, it's very it it evolves from I'm trapped here to this is my home.
Yeah.
So that is an arc.
But anyways, yeah, the fire, the Great Fire of London, Ben.
Yes, such a tragedy. Presumably, I don't know anything about it.
No, because we're American.
Thank God Richard Mace was helping put out those fires, or else it would have been a lot worse. Which we should talk about that. This is something that I feel like hasn't happened for a while. Is
Yeah.
the Doctor Who is explaining the circumstances behind a real historical event.
Mhm.
Which I love when this happens. I've said it many times before that I always find this concept really cool. I've highlighted like, "Oh, it was the Doctor's idea for the Trojan horse. That's so cool," in the Hartnell era. And this is another moment where I mean, he kinda implies that this fire would have always happened,
Yeah.
but it is through his actions that it is started.
But also, I was watching the documentary on the Blu-ray for this one, and Peter does mention it's like I kind of do like the Doctor himself kind of causes the fire, like he is just straight up just responsible for it.
Yeah.
It's very Doctor him just to be like I'm out.
Yes. Disposing of the technology, not all of it though, just most of it. They make a passing line of like he gives this like little circuit board to Richard Mace and he's like, "Oh, a memento." And I like Nissa says, "That'll confuse the archaeologist,"
Yeah.
which made me wonder, "Oh, is this a real guy? Is that a real thing that are they referencing something?"
No.
No, that was just a throwaway
No,
line.
it's just a throwaway line of just being like, it just, I think it's just a nudge, nudge, wink, wink of just like, they kind of, would they find like all this Terileptil shit? The archaeologist would find the Terileptil and the remains of it, probably, unless it just like everything burned.
Oh, this is kinda interesting. I just confirming that Richard Mace is not a real guy. Apparently, Eric Sayward wrote 3 radio plays which starred Richard Mace.
Mm,
3 of them before he wrote The Visitation,
that's cool.
about his time as an actor. So this is like a continuing character that he's putting in this new story of his.
Which makes sense why it is a more vivid character than the typical Doctor Who side character of this time.
Yeah.
But he has main character energy, Ben.
Yes. Absolutely. If he said, "I'm joining the TARDIS," that wouldn't have been crazy. It feels like a I mean, 5 people would be a lot.
Every episode it's like, oh no, this is their time, they're on break. They're just fucking gaming in the TARDIS.
I mean,
Swimming in the pool.
it's not a terrible idea. Like, what if they had Doctor had, like, 10 companions, and every adventure he'd, like, pick 3, and the rest would just hang out?
You on shift tonight, boys.
But anything else to say about The Visitation before we
Not very much more to say. I think we talked about majority of it. I think this is just a very solid story. Also just want to point out one of those times where it's helpful that the BBC has all of this historical stuff from Shakespeare stuff and just historical dramas that they can pull off historical settings very well, unlike alien landscapes. It's a kind of a shame that we don't get more pseudo historical stuff because the BBC can do it convincingly.
Yeah,
Especially like there's that one shot towards the end where we see the Terileptil like inside of like in a town in London, I would imagine, I
yeah.
guess, on like a London street, and like that stuff, very convincing looking. You never like, ah, that looks like a set.
That shot kinda confused me
Hmm.
because I was looking through the footage on my computer, and I can tell it was shot on film.
Yeah.
Like, I see the grain. I don't see, like, the upscaled smudginess of tape. So, like, is that actually outside? Was this a set for something else that was shooting on film, and they just used those cameras? I don't know.
I would imagine maybe they just have like maybe this is like a Renaissance fair that could have been
It
it.
almost looks like, because I was looking at it kinda closely, the kinda top of the frame, which is more like the tops of buildings, looked a little more smudgy, so I almost wonder if there's, like, an area that was real, and then there's, like, a matte painting or something
Mm.
for, like, the distance and all
I don't
that.
know. I don't think Doctor Who.
Or not a matte painting, but, like, a composited whatever.
I think it looks very good, personally.
Yeah, it does.
I think that yeah, maybe there's a painting behind them, but I think this might be just a Renaissance fair type thing, or like this is just something they have in storage that they can just put up because maybe it is in studio that they have a big studio that they have that maybe like they just have this like, the stuff like this in the BBC warehouse because they would be doing productions that's like in that setting kind of often just because of like Shakespeare stuff and other things.
Well, what would you think is the best special effect here? I would have voted for the Terileptil, but you disagree?
It's the robot, in my opinion, and I think the Pterodactyl is the worst. That's my opinion.
Gotcha. And what could have elevated this story to the next level? I was thinking maybe a slightly stronger villain with a slightly better plan. Like the plague plan, it's okay. I feel like it could use some more workshopping.
I just my whole thing is just go back to that the mask thing is like I want to see that actor's performance. I think that would help a lot with the villain of this episode if we actually saw what the actor was doing,
Yeah.
and he also didn't talk all muffled. Because, like you said, like that scene where the doctor first meets him, that's a great scene.
Yeah. Wow.
All right, give me those cliffhangers, Ben.
1. The android locks Adric Tegan, Richard Mace on a staircase, and the doctor has disappeared. And 2, villagers are about to execute the doctor and Richard Mace on suspicion of the plague. And 3, a controlled Nissa goes to open a cage with plagued rats despite the doctor's attempts to reach her. What do you think? I would guess 2 or 3? Not 1.
I would say three. I think that was a good cliffhanger of him being like Tegan, no, don't.
Not again, as he's about to be beheaded. Yeah, probably 3. Alright, Cam, how would you rate The Visitation?
8.4.
Really?
Yes.
Higher than Kindo?
Yes, I enjoyed this more than Kinda.
Wow. I would say this is like a 8.2 for an average rating of 8.3. And to talk about the polls, Doctor Who magazine does a poll about every decade or so since the 90s, most recently in 2023. The Visitation ranked number 7 out of 20, as well as number 7 in 2014. In 2009, it was ranked 6th, and in 1998, it was all the way up in 4th place. So in the top 50% of this doctor's stories.
In 2014, it ranked 110 in between State of Decay and Smith& Jones.
State of Decay is above or below?
Above it.
Do you like this more than State of Decay?
Yes. Even though I like State of Decay, I enjoy the Visitation more than State of Decay.
I think I would agree with that. What did I give State of Decay? Just an 8. Yeah, it's better. So, next week we will be talking about just a short two-parter, Black Orchid, which I believe is the first pure historical in a long time.
Yes.
Join us next week for that and have a wonderful rest of your day.
Peace out, everyone.